Hello guys, Tomasz here. Welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about LC to be using the refined M15 swing strategy. Please do not skip any of the previous LC content. Even though it's the M5, the process is very similar. I do recommend you guys to watch those videos first and then watch this one. Okay, so the trade that I'm going to talk about is around this region. It was a very simple trade, but I won't talk about a few details. But coming into the daily, okay, just starting the daily time frame, we have a very important concept, that is, after the daily break of structure, once we have the daily internal boss bullish, we have the indication that the pullback is going to start, right? Once then the premium of the daily bearish swing structure is reached, and then internally we have now alignment between the swing and the internal, we know that the low is likely to get run, and we now can looking for sells, and ideally this range tend to get respected until the low goes. Okay, that's something that I want to make reference, because it's the idea behind this trade. We have the push down in this case, and then internally you can see here price push up, push down, and then push back up. So internally we have this shift indicating that the pullback is going to start. And by the way guys, if you are confused about this not being a break of structure, again, there's nothing wrong if you map this as a daily boss. We all came to the same conclusion in this trade here, but I do recommend you guys to actually watch the market structure series, mainly the video where Matt talks, and the title is "Does Swing Structure Matter?" Okay, please watch that video again and you will understand perfectly what I'm talking about. So in this case, the daily internal boss bullish facilitates the pullback. Once high probability supply is mitigated and we have this shift, okay, much more clean. This is a change of character because there is an inside bar, but once we have this clean shift, we have a good indication, okay, the bullish objective may be completed. Now we can add lower. Okay, so that's the point on the daily time frame. We also form super clean equals. When price push back up, mitigate what the internal premium prices of this bearish leg. So when price push back down, this is much cleaner on the H4 again, but price reached the internal premium prices and swept the high, chopped bearish. You guys will see that it's very likely the low is going to get run. This is a weak supply, but is based on the H4. So I'm going to talk about H4 because it's much cleaner. Okay, you can see that this is a super clean H4 break of structure bullish, which for me was a daily internal boss bullish. So it's very important. And another thing is the fact that price mitigate what? High probability supply, H4 boss bearish. So now H4 is in line the daily. So basically we have a good indication that price is going down. Imagine that this is the daily, okay? This is the daily time frame, and then H4 boss bullish pullback is going to start, right? Mitigate premium prices, H4 boss bearish. What that means? It means that the low now is likely to get run because the daily is bearish and now H4 is bearish as well. It's aligned with the daily. So with a good indication, the low is going to get run. Okay. In this case, focusing on this most recent price action, we have a big push to the downside, then price push back up into the premium. Okay. This is a H4 supply in the premium. But what I really like, really like was the fact that here price, even if you analyze just this piece of price action and you forget everything else, you can make sense of this trade, because you can see that we're coming from the premium, we have a massive equal lows, and not only that, this low, right, failed to take out the high. It swept the high and chopped bearish. You can see this low failed to take out the high, swept the high, right, and chopped bearish. What that means? It means that this low is weak, correct? So what that means? It means that I'm going to look for sells. I will not and will never recommend you taking trades from weak legs. This is a weak low. I'm not looking for longs, never. Or at least 90% of the times, or 95% of the times, I won't take it. The only possibility is if suddenly this high would be weak as well, but it's a little bit more complex. I want to keep it simple in this video, and you already see that after this low fail, take out the high, chop bearish, indication the low is going to get run. And we also have a lot of liquidity here, so it can act as magnet for price to go down. If you drop to the H1, you can see how clean it is. This low here failed to take out the high, chalk bearish on the H1. It looks more like even a strong internal boss bearish, to be honest. Super clean shift, and then we know that this low is weak and the objective is not completed yet. What that means? It means that I can still look for sales, pulling the objective and making sure this low gets run. Okay, so let's focus on the sells, because I hope you guys understand the idea behind the sells. And now I have this internal range on the H1. I mark the POI, which by the way is super clean. It's extreme swap liquidity, okay, from premium prices, so very clean to look for sells. Again, I do not recommend you look for lower time frames while price is around here. It can lead you to some unnecessary loss. Wait always for the medium time frame POI mitigation, and only then drop to the M15, which is the lower time frames. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I'm just going to drop here to analyze price with you. So at this moment, I'm not doing anything. You can see that it can get you some false conclusions. You can get, for example, in this case, you will not get involved because the entry would be a stop order here, but you can start making sense of some leads. You have some low time frame noise, so wait first from the medium time frame POI, correct? Otherwise, stay away. So price, mitigate the POI, perfect. Now it's time to take the trade and analyze if there's any entry model. So price, in this case, what it forms a super clean LC to B, which is the equals. Okay, one thing that I want you guys to know is that with equals, I do not expect to be something like that. For example, this. For me, I do not take this kind of equals. I do take these kind of equals when they are flat and not steep. And the reason why is it's important to explain this, because you need to understand to actually implement correctly, in my opinion. You really need to understand the reasons why. And if you understand here, this for me is just an indication that the bullish order flow is going to continue. This is an impulse, correction, impulse. I do not want to try to call the tops around here and get multiple losses. When price give you this kind of steep nature, steep price action, it can continue moving up. It's just showing me that order flow is still bullish. That's why I do not take this kind of equals. What I do take is when they are flat and I can see some kind of deceleration. I can see clean gap between them, clean retrace, showing me that there's still there's a clean double top formation. Because in this example, this is very different. This showing me deceleration compared to when it's steep, bullish order flow, to deceleration. I'm essentially waiting for price to build all the liquidity here, sweep the liquidity, and then we go. So this is very different, and people sometimes can apply this model not correct, in my opinion. You need to understand what you are playing. You are basically waiting for deceleration and once that deceleration is created, is formed with all the buy side liquidity above, once price push up and aggressively retrace, that's a good indication price is going to go. Okay, this small detail is very, very different. Again, wait for flat double tops, not steep. So in this case, you would have the entry. By the way, guys, let me explain. So basically, after this, I have the entry ready straight away. And just want to make reference that I'm only interested to take the trade while price inside this medium time frame POI. If it's already outside, even by a pip, I immediately stop looking to take the trade. Okay, price needs to be inside the POI. Okay, next candle comes, it broke previous candle's high. So straight away I adapt the entry to this region. And we know that we're still inside the POI, so still valid to look for sales. And I continue and I get triggered in the trade. Okay, what we know that the objective of the trade is to take out this low, and we also understand that this is a lot of liquidity, so it's up to you how you want to manage. Okay, it's not a video to talk about management, it's up to you, but you can see the powerful of the concepts playing out. Okay, so again, the point I want you guys to take away is please wait for deceleration. This is a pattern that involves deceleration. Okay, is not trying to catch a top when we have just bullish order flow. Okay, we need to wait for deceleration, create all liquidity above, push up, swap liquidity, and then we go in the right direction. Okay, one thing that is also very, very important, I think it's always nice to talk about, is, for example, if imagine that, let's say the POI was like this. Okay, imagine the POI was like this, and we still have a lot of room to play the LC to B. If you use the PBL method, okay, if you use the PBL method, you need this to be unmitigated, right? So once price push back down, and if it push back up, ideally with candle closure, with body candle closure, okay, if price push back down and push back up, you would stop looking to take the trade because the PBL held, it formed a higher high, and you stop looking to take the trade. So imagine that price push back down. Imagine that this candle actually mitigates the POI and continue up, while all previous candle size gets broken. You stop taking the trade, correct? That's nothing wrong with that. Is the PBL method. If you use the early entry method, which the one that I use, we just delete the PBL. We don't use the PBL, and even though price can imagine that the PBL for you is this one, okay, and for some reason price mitigates the PBL and continue moving up, we can still look to get involved while price is inside the POI in the first place. Okay, that's something that I think it's very, very interesting, but you need to test and see which one you prefer. There's no right or wrong. There are always pros and cons. You need to see which one you prefer, which one you resonate, stick with one and be consistent with it. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you guys understand. The main point was what constitutes a good LC2B, and yeah, see you guys on the next one. Bye.